Okay guys, reset, new video, same video, but just no, okay, remember last video, that was just pushed up a little bit, so yeah, still subscribe. I'll say I'm recording.
To try to swing an election by declaring false on what question? By what authority? By the power of me, the CEO of Waystar Telly people. It's not a decision that I could necessarily. Yeah, thank you. And everyone respects you, Darwin, but this isn't actually a numbers thing. This is all upside. Apart from the matter of him smashing the country to pieces.
I'm recording.
Wouldn't actually be making him president.
I'm recording.
But we can stop him.
The election has been called for you by an authority of known integrity.
We just made a night of good TV. That's what we've done. Nothing happens.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes, they do. Now, in reality, Fox did act.
Okay, I think no one likes me recording.
2020, Murdoch later recounted Kushner calling in with Trump shouting in the background over that. Then Fox fired election staff who were correct about Biden winning. Kind of the opposite of fact-checking. Some hosts and platforms lies that fed January 6th, which Murdoch
Guys, please donate me Roblox.
Fox was also first to call the 2000 race for George Bush.
Give me
and it had a Bush
the Robux you have. I promise I'll donate you some more.
Ultimately upheld in the Supreme Court. This new episode, imagine something worse, when some called it quote, hellscape because it resonated as the art imitated life. And the mentality where corporate bosses pull the strings and say they'll just pay for the damages later, that fictional line from that recent Succession episode.
Hey guys, I'm doing a mission. Missions. Oh guys, by the way, you find missions here. Oh, missions. Reaches. Okay. So there's where you find missions. Okay. So I need a taxi to gate 4.
In the show. That brings us to our special report for you right now with spoilers.
Okay, I love first person. First person is the best. You guys don't think first person is the best. I hate you. And also you have to subscribe. Okay. Guys, I'll tell the truth. I'm kind of a Roblox actor, but no. I don't know. Please give me Robux. I've done the most missions here. I don't know how. I'll be the first one to find out about the missions. Oh. Job. That's 5 missions. And soon I'll have. Sorry, Jabbo. Back, Jabbo. How is he? You know what? Just never mind.
The real Murdoch uses his power.
I'm recording.
Succession channels have to show this sort of anti-democratic conclave, as the Washington Post put it, which is something that we in journalism can rarely show you, and thus citizens never get to see in reality. So the show uses art to warn all of us that the way things are going, maybe what you're about to see is closer to how some nominees are really selected than what we're told in public in this scene about plotting. So, what is this actually here? This is just a nice conference of like-minded donors and intellectuals. Okay, do relax. Selectable president. That's not really how it works. Yeah. No, but yeah.
Okay guys, I'll just stop for a minute.
Terrifying powerful forces at play here. Murdoch runs an empire remarkably close to the one in this show, along with a family struggle over succeeding him. The show echoes history. It shows this fictional Logan there you see on the right, standing on boxes of printer paper to address the newsroom, just as you see the real Murdoch doing exactly that when he bought and addressed reporters at the Wall Street Journal in 2007.
Hey, you.
There are many comparisons and contrasts about the fiction and the truth. Murdoch's been in the news more than ever, really, lately, for bad reasons. And Succession's writers say it's not just him, they have many influences. I can tell you, though, tonight, the actor who played Murdoch's top lawyer, or Logan's top lawyer on the show, discussed the overlap.
Logan, who's sort of loosely based on Rupert Murdoch, although they say not really, but it's pretty clear comparisons.
Pretty clear, and Murdoch's real lawyer certainly sees the issue. They arranged a legal, binding divorce settlement barring Murdoch's ex-wife from giving story ideas to the writers on Succession. Brian Cox, who might be known now more for this portrayal of this character than any other role, has also reflected on the show's inherent political critique of extreme wealth, how it divides and spurs inequality in every sense, and how some at the top of that 0.1% even embrace that.
We're pointing to how wealth distances people, how wealth creates inequality. Logan, who is in the middle of all that, and he's his own history, tortured history that he has, but he doesn't give a you know what. My favorite word that he says a lot, but he doesn't give it. He really doesn't.
That's what artists do. Cox, who by the way has lefty democratic socialist politics in his life outside of this, is using his artistry to tell us how he's channeling how Logan lives within the structure and the abuse of his power. So as I explore this with you tonight, we're digging in the archives to kind of excavate these glaring comparisons, because this matters. The story in both of these worlds turns on this stew of media, right-wing politics, and a battle among three children vying for control.
He's the godfather of a media syndicate that he runs like a family business, a $40 billion business.
What you kids do not understand, it's all part of the game.
On Forbes' list of the world's most powerful people, he's number 13.
It's not whatever he wanted. He won facts. He took out a government.
Overseeing media properties now on 5 continents, including the Wall Street Journal, Fox News, the New York Post, and 20th Century Fox.
I didn't make human nature, but I do know what they read and what they watch.
So began a pattern for Murdoch's career. Hostile takeovers, a rapid expansion, bold risk-taking, and a hands-on approach to running his business.
He's on the floor. Explain what he's doing. He's moseying, terrifyingly moseying.
Ding. I am recording.
Yes. It's striking when your billionaire overlord declares they're the revolutionaries, or even the victims and the oppressed. So you see there in that interplay between life and art, an important theme in Succession about capitalism, corporate media, and also something else I want to put under scrutiny tonight, which is how that all can connect with rising hate. The show's fictional right-wing channel is seen dancing with forces of hate as a political and profitable project. They show a foreign tech bro who makes jokes about race and ethnicity. May remind you of someone who's also in the news tonight trying to pick a president. There's a Nazi reference that comes up in the show with nods that may be reminiscent of replacement theory and a bunch of other stuff we've been documenting that took its apex with Trump and Tucker Carlson or other figures. There are many. I want to show you briefly a scene where they mix the Baroque absurd comedy of it all with questions about Nazi sympathizing. So the punchline is ever so serious. The media executive you're about to see is trying to pin down a right-wing host's apparent interest in this specific era of World War II history.
Have you ever read Mein Kampf?
Yeah,
a couple times. What specifically do you find interesting about that period of history? The scale, the tragedy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and which tragedies specifically.
You know what?
Europe decimated. 7 million Germans, 20 million Russians,
You know
5 million
what?
Poles.
If you
You hear the pregnant pause. The accounting doesn't add up as the scene goes on to show he didn't count the victims of the Holocaust. It's a line about extreme tragedy. It's played in the show for laughs. The point is obviously serious. And maybe people who follow less news than you and I do, I think, if we're here watching MSNBC, they might get that point and that warning and think about that there. Informed Americans do know that one of the most influential billionaires around, secretly funding Justice Clarence Thomas's land deals and family real estate and life, has a notorious Nazi collection, including literally a signed copy of Mein Kampf. And with so much misconduct, is there justice? You know, we began this report with Murdoch's court loss. One of the reasons he paid out so much was to avoid himself having to personally take the stand. That's a type of accountability he has run from and dodged most of his life. Even when forced to testify, which is rare, we see him running and trying to pin things on others in his own family. Again, the archives show the comparison.
When I read of the abuses of power alleged in my cruise division,
okay.
well, that was the worst day of my life.
This is the most humble day of my life.
I believe my son was across that operation.
I've never heard of it. I think my son can perhaps answer that in more detail. He was much closer to it.
Billionaires ducking consequences, even if they have to throw their sons
Please.
and daughters under the bus or the proverbial cruise ship.
Please.
Succession can feel like a treasure trove of these failures at the top. At this time of huge wealth inequality, the richest 1% of people amassing almost 2/3 of all new wealth created in the last 2 years. The big problem is getting worse. And we live in a time where there are these billionaires who are abusing power, trying to rig everything from public opinion and media narratives to the elections themselves. And they are aligned with politicians accusing others of rigging the system. That's rich. Literally.
He is.
Rich. Now, as this show heads towards a finale this weekend, it'll be the last episode of the season and the whole thing. The last thing I want to share with you is how this show, Succession's politics and its critique of what might look like today's politics, are worth hearing because they are clear and important and bracing.
We're going to be the #1 media conglomerate
no one likes me.
in the world.
Is there any way to keep the lifeblood of a democracy going by using news as your own personal ATM?
Get your old man to make me president. I'll see to it that you become CEO. People are going to say,
We'll be in the West Wing. Nothing matters, Kat. The president has not been feeling like your coverage has been very helpful or truthful lately.
It could get a lot worse.
Viewers will eat from his hand. No downside. Yeah, this is Invade Poland now. No downside.
It's like a bottle of fine wine. You save it for a special occasion. You smash someone. Face it when.
Succession has built this audience, this acclaim, and this impact, which seems like it could rival any new show recently around. And there's more competition than ever with streaming. So that's part of the news tonight because it may suggest a much deeper point for the real world. Like other art, this entertaining writing, these masterful performances, almost ensure the message will reach far more people than a sober news report or another dry lecture on money and politics. And this season has been serving up more than just a message about reform or being informed or getting involved. We are witnessing and living through a warning and a wake-up call about the danger of billionaire politics.
I have
billionaire
$1.
Politicians working with billionaires who are literally pursuing profits above all and sometimes aligning with the forces of hate and authoritarianism.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. With the money we saved, we tried electric unicycles.
I think I got it.
Okay. Doggy paddle. Only pay for what you need.
Oh, what a good time we will have. You can make it up.
Voltaren, the joy of movement.
You filming? Yep.
Try rolling your wrist, dude.
You gotta focus on balance.
You should switch to sledding. No blocking. Good idea.
Don't forget stick work. Plus it's paying off.
It's pretty simple. I kind of just want things the way I want.
I want a network that won't let me down. Even up here.
With an unlimited plan that's truly right for me. With Verizon's new My Plan, I get exactly what I want and only pay for what I need.
Now I'm in charge.
On my plan. Introducing My Plan from Verizon. The first and only plan where you pick your perks and save on every one. So you get exactly what you want and only pay for what you need. And it all starts at just $30 on the network you want. Because it's your Verizon.
How to grow delicious herbs. Step 1. Use Miracle Grow potting mix.
Inside.
That's it. Miracle Grow. All you need to know to grow.
What do you guys think came first, the chicken or the baby back rib?
Baby back ribs.
Chicken tenders all the way.
Baby back ribs.
Chicken tenders.
Baby back ribs. Baby back ribs. Baby back
Jam.
I started working in a hospital when I was 14. I learned through some hard experiences that health isn't just about longevity, it's about quality of life. Working with patients, trying to get them to eat more fruits and vegetables, it just was impossible. Most of my patients were eating less than 3 servings of fruits or vegetables a day. That's when I decided I need to find a different way. And that's how I developed Balance of Nature. It gives your body the chemistry it needs to help your cells run at their optimum. It's real. It's real science. It's real fruits and vegetables, and it's real people. I would attribute the success of Balance of Nature going from the back room in my practice to millions of servings of fruits and vegetables being served to the world every single day, to the simple fact that it works.
Start now by going to balanceofnature.com and don't forget to use discount code LOVE.
Andy's been suffering from ugly yellow toe fungus for years.
Toe fungus is embarrassing. I was afraid to take my socks off. I hid my yellow and crumbly toes from everybody.
Toe fungus is a stubborn condition that won't go away on its own and usually spreads and gets worse. Introducing Crystal Flush, the new and different at-home treatment that flushes out fungus fast.
I tried everything. Every drugstore product, every home remedy, prescriptions from my doctor, nothing worked. But Crystal Flush is different.
The secret is its breakthrough 2-step system. Its non-prescription serum contains the maximum strength FDA-approved ingredient, and the unique capsule helps balance the body's natural defense to fungus.
After just weeks, my fungus was gone. I mean, 100% gone. No joke. I can now go barefoot at the pool and at the gym. I can wear flip-flops again. It's just taken so much stress off me.
Try Crystal Flush for 30 days absolutely risk-free. Call or visit crystalflush.com now.
I have a structured settlement and I need cash now. Call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now.
I have an annuity, but I need cash now.
Call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now.
It's your money. Use it when you need it.
Call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now.
Turning to news that hits hard for many, many people, not only in America but around the world. She was simply the best. Tina Turner has passed away at the age of 83. She died from a long illness at her home in Switzerland. Her career spanned 6 decades, 8 Grammys, and I mentioned earlier tonight, although we wish it was under better circumstances, we are here to hear from someone to honor the legacy, and that is our next guest, Cher. Let's take a look at this. I was on the Cher Show from 1975, calling in today under these difficult circumstances. My next guest is someone I've long wanted to have on the beat. Again, we wish it was under different circumstances, but we are pleased to hear from a legend, Cher. Good evening.
Hey, Ari.
Thanks for joining me.
You know, I know that it's everybody's really sad, but the truth is, the way she's been. First, she fought this sickness for such a long time, and she was so strong, as you would think she would be. And then, but towards the end, I know that she told me once, she said, I'm really ready. You know, I just don't want to put up with this anymore. She didn't swear. It's so funny, we were good friends. But you know, she didn't want to do it anymore, you know? And so, like, when I started going to visit her because I thought, you know, I need to put this time in here into our friendship so that she knows that we haven't forgotten her. So we kind of all took turns going and spending time with her, and it made her happy. And someone said, Jeff said, when you two laugh together, it is the funniest thing that you could ever possibly want to hear because you both have such distinct laughs. But she was really happy, and like the first time I went, she was laying on this little chaise that she looked out at the lake with, and she was very kind of, you know, kind of Camille, you know, and laying there, and it's like, and she said, I can't spend too much time, and then 5 hours later, we were laughing like crazy, and she wanted to get up and show everything that she bought in her house. And boy, there were no surfaces in that house. But, you know, she was having a good time in spite of the fact that she was really sick, you know, and not wanting people to know about it, but she, you know, she had a dialysis machine in her house. And so that's how she was doing it.
Yeah, and Cher, let me ask you, when you look at her life, you knew her as a person, a spirit, an artist. Many other people know her only from her music and listening to her work. What do you value, what do you take from the way she lived her life, both as a person and as an artist that so many listen to?
Well, I think, first of all, she's one of the great artists
Someone kill
in our
me.
generation, you know?
Someone kill me, please.
Rock and roll, I mean, there was no other person like her. You know, there's no other person even come kind of close to who she was. And as a woman, she gave you lots of strength, and I'm sure she's encouraged so many young people, but she gave me lots of strength sometimes. But I gave her lots of strength too. I think we were perfect friends for each other, truthfully. I swore like a sailor, and she never did.
Yeah. When you look at her and the eras that you both have traversed, of course, here we are, how did she approach both the limits, the supposed rules of the time for someone like her, and how I imagine you might say, we'll let you answer, but how did she sometimes push right past them?
Well, because she was such a force, and honestly, I think she just
Hand me over, please.
hit everything head on. You know, she hit everything head on, and she wasn't, she wasn't about
Tokyo International.
stop. She might not have gone
Tokyo
every
International.
battle, but she fought every war.
Tokyo International.
Yeah.
You know, she was there fighting for all the
810.
things she believed in, and you know, she started in an old way. She picked cotton. My grandmother picked cotton, so you know, I understand the coming from nothing. I mean, coming from so nothing and building and building and building. And when I first knew her, she was still with Ike, and that was kind of a very strange to see her with Ike and to see her afterwards. And I was so thrilled because afterwards she was so free, and you could just see her like being able to take a big breath. It was like her new life was like a big fresh breath.
Yeah, it's a difficult chapter, but yeah, you're of course referencing what she dealt with domestic abuse, again in an earlier era, with regard to how she had to navigate that in her life, career, business. Do you have an earliest or early memory of her when you met or spent time together, or first remember hearing a song? I mean, we, again, those of us who don't know everyone, we remember, oh, when that song was on the radio, or then you met the person. Anything like that as we kind of mark her life?
Well, I was a huge fan of Paul Bennett. The first time I saw her, I think we were at the Cow Palace, and Selena was at the bottom of the building, I can, at the top, and I remember standing in the hallway, and I heard this kind of, I don't know if I heard it or I felt it, this like, the oxygen kind of getting sucked out of the hallway, and she came down and she came by me, and she stopped, and she looked at me, and she smiled, and she kept going. And then the next time we met was when she was doing the show, but we really got close once she left out, and then we started spending time together.
Yeah, it's really striking. I really appreciate it, and I think many people can probably appreciate you sharing with us on what is a sad day, and as you reminded everyone, a day where you said this is a time of her life, and that you've seen her recently, and these members of Tina Turner now passing at 83 are something we can all reflect on, share. Thank you for joining us tonight.
I want to tell you one thing. She gave me a pair of shoes the last time I saw her.
What kind of shoes?
What kind of shoes? Tina Turner shoes.
the big.
You, I could have helped you.
Amazing. Well, it's like all of us.
I could have helped you.
So we're just part of the news when we stop and report on, of course, amazing, wonderful people who passed. But with the group comes all of the positive memories. So again, Cher, thank you for being able to share some of those with us and with MSNBC tonight.
Okay, thanks, Frank.
Okay, thank you, Cher. Speaking with us here as we report on the news of an icon, Tina Turner, passing at age 83. We will be right back.
There's a new breed of hornet sweeping the nation.
They're so helpful and fast and unlike anything I've ever seen in my hometown life.
These hornets are not natural. They're engineered. They cannot be domesticated.
Are you picking this up?
Let me feel your sting!
Taking the country by swarm. The all-new Dodge Hornet.
What's the next chapter? That's the real question. With Fidelity Income Planning, a dedicated advisor can help you grow and protect your wealth, even when you're not working. They'll look at your full financial picture and help you create a flexible strategy designed to balance growth potential and guaranteed income. So you can stop worrying about the future and enjoy the life you've created. That's the planning effect from Fidelity.
どのくらいここにいると思いますか？
卵に一部できるんですよね。なんかこっち来てませんか？
Vision works. See the difference.
From big cities to small towns and on main streets across the U.S., you'll find PNC Bank, helping businesses both large and small, communities, and the people who live and work there grow and thrive. We're proud to call these places home too. They're where we put down roots, and where together we work to help move everyone's financial goals forward. PNC Bank.
Hey guys, detect this. Living with HIV, I learned that I can stay undetectable with fewer medicines. That's why I switched to Dovato.
Dovato is for some adults who are starting HIV-1 treatment or replacing their current HIV-1 regimen.
Detect this. No other complete HIV pill uses fewer medicines to help keep you undetectable than Dovato.
Detect this.
Do you like
Most
it?
HIV pills contain 3 or 4 medicines. Dovato is as effective with just 2.
Research shows people who take HIV treatment as prescribed and get to and stay undetectable can no longer transmit HIV through sex. Don't take Dovato if you're allergic to its ingredients, or if you take Dofetilide. Taking Dovato with Dofetilide can cause serious or life-threatening side effects.
Okay.
Hepatitis B can become harder to treat while on Dovato. Don't stop Dovato without talking to your doctor, as your hepatitis B may worsen or become life-threatening. Serious or life-threatening side effects can occur, including allergic reactions, lactic acid buildup, and liver problems. If you have a rash or other allergic reaction symptoms, stop Dovato and get medical help right away. Tell your doctor if you have kidney or liver problems, or if you are, may be, or plan to be pregnant. Dovato may harm your unborn baby. Use effective birth control while on Dovato. Do not breastfeed while taking Dovato. Most common side effects are headache, nausea, diarrhea, trouble sleeping, tiredness, and anxiety.
Detect this. I stay undetectable with fewer medicines. Ask your doctor about switching to Dovato.
Money stresses me out. So I got this Experian app, and now I'm checking my FICO score. I got a new credit card, and I'm even finding ways to save. Finally,
Do you want to be amigos?
Really good.
See all you can do with the free Experian app. Download it now.
I kept seeing this shoe brand all over TikTok. It's called Kizik. Look at this. These are absolutely amazing. The whole purpose behind this shoe is that it's completely hands-free. They're so easy to get on. No tying, no pulling, no heel crushing, no hands. Kizik. They are no ordinary shoe. Time to step up your shoe game and step into Kizik's. Get 15% off today at kizik.com/TV.
QB makes it easy to add more movement to your day without changing your routine. Its low-impact design is easy on the joints and can help you stay active and energized because more movement means more you. Get 10% off at QB.com.
I've always wanted to play piano.
Now that I have time, I'm using the Simply Piano app.
And I can play the songs I love whenever I want. Simply Piano. Find it now in the App Store and Google Play.
We have an update on Ron DeSantis, who made, as we know, this decision to announce that he is running for president tonight, and within the last hour, on Twitter with Elon Musk. The reveal was set through Twitter Spaces. That's sort of an audio portion of Twitter, and it had technical difficulties. There was about a half-hour delay over those. DeSantis then released a video that he's again posted online for the campaign launch.
We need the courage to lead and the strength to win. I'm Ron DeSantis, and I'm running for president to lead our great American comeback.
That was what was prepared and presented, sort of posted as a video, but the idea of using Twitter, which, as I mentioned earlier, in all fairness, could be an innovation, well, it didn't work very well.
amigo.
Musk, who now controls Twitter, so he can't let anyone else, and Mario, which famously loves control, well, it's not the ideal first night rollout. Indeed, the Biden's campaign here, President Biden, are already mocking the technical issues online, sort of trolling the trolls. Donald Trump using it to attack DeSantis as a quote Trump imposter. So buckle on up and get ready for more tweets, whatever their timeliness may be. So that's an update on that story. When we come back, something we have hit and we will hit again because we're keeping the scrutiny on. How parents are now a part of the book ban obsession, and Amanda Gorman's poem from our own American inaugural being targeted. That's next.
Okay, you guys, peace out. Sorry for not talking for so long. Sorry, I thought I was making a video. Sorry. Sorry, all the sorries in the world to you. Bye.